The Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1985 pound coin refers to the United Kingdom £1 coin issued in 1985 during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and the inscription on the obverse carries traditional Latin abbreviations that reflect centuries of British monarchical tradition. On the obverse front of the coin is a right-facing portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Raphael Makhlouf, which was used on British coinage from 1985 to 1997. Surrounding the portrait is the legend, Elizabeth II DG Reg EFD, where DG stands for Dei Gratia meaning, by the grace of God, Reg stands for Regina meaning Queen, and FD stands for Fidei Defensor meaning Defender of the Faith, a title originally granted to English monarchs by the Pope in the 16th century, and still retained today. The reverse back of the 1985 £1 coin features the royal arms of the United Kingdom within a circular border, symbolizing the unity of England, Scotland, and Ireland, with the denomination £1 clearly inscribed. This design was created by Eric Sewell and was part of a long-running series of Royal Arms pound coins minted between 1983 and 1985. The coin is round in shape and made of nickel brass, an alloy consisting mainly of copper, zinc, and nickel, giving it its distinctive golden color. It weighs approximately 9.5 grams, has a diameter of 22.5 millimeters, and a thickness of about 3.15 millimeters, with a plain edge. The 1985 £1 coin was produced by the Royal Mint and released into general circulation, meaning it was commonly used in everyday transactions across the UK during the 1980s and 1990s, before being withdrawn in 2017 when the new 12-sided pound coin was introduced due to counterfeiting concerns. In terms of collectability, the 1985 £1 coin is not considered rare, as millions were minted, but its value can vary depending on condition, with circulated examples usually worth close to face value, while uncirculated or proof versions may carry higher value among collectors. Historically, this coin represents a period of modernization in British coinage, as the £1 denomination itself was relatively new at the time, having replaced the £1 banknote in 1983 to improve durability and reduce costs. Overall, the Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1985 pound coin is an important example of late 20th century British currency, combining traditional royal symbolism, Latin inscriptions rooted in history, and practical everyday use, making it both a functional artifact of its time and a meaningful collectible for those interested in UK numismatics. The next top. The inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg EFD, found on a 1988 British £1 coin refers to the official Latin titles of Queen Elizabeth II and appears around her portrait on the obverse of the coin, and understanding it requires looking at the coin's language, history, symbolism, metal composition, minting context, and place within British numismatic tradition. Elizabeth II names the reigning monarch of the United Kingdom at the time. DG stands for Dei Gratia, meaning by the grace of God, a phrase used for centuries to express the belief that the monarch's authority is divinely sanctioned. Reg is short for Regina, meaning Queen, and FD stands for Fidei Defensor, meaning Defender of the Faith, a title originally granted to King Henry VIII by Pope Leo X in 1521 and retained by British monarchs even after England broke from the Roman Catholic Church, symbolizing the monarch's role as supreme governor of the Church of England. The 1988 £1 coin itself is part of the original round pound coin series, which was introduced in 1983 to replace the paper £1 note, as coins proved more durable and cost-effective. This series ran until 2016, when it was replaced by the 12-sided bimetallic pound due to counterfeiting concerns. The 1988 coin is made of nickel brass, an alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel, giving it its distinctive golden color. It weighs 9.5 grams, has a diameter of 22.5 millimeters, and a milled edge with the inscription, Decus et Titamen, an ornament and a safeguard. A phrase dating back to the reign of Charles II that refers to both decoration and protection against clipping and forgery. The obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the 1988 issue was designed by Raphael Makhlouf, whose effigy was used from 1985 to 1997 and depicts the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown traditionally worn at the state opening of Parliament, along with a more mature and dignified likeness compared to earlier portraits. The reverse design of the 1,988-pound coin features the royal arms of the United Kingdom, emphasizing national unity and authority, and 1988 was one of several years in which different national emblems, such as the thistle, leek, flax, or oak, rotated on the reverse to represent England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland across the series. In terms of circulation, the 1988 £1 coin was minted in large numbers by the Royal Mint and widely used in everyday transactions throughout the UK, making it common rather than rare. However, it remains collectible as part of full-date runs, mint state examples, or historical sets representing the long reign of Elizabeth II, who ruled from 1952 until her death in 2022, the longest reigning monarch in British history. From a cultural and historical perspective, the coin reflects Britain's constitutional monarchy, continuity of tradition, use of Latin in royal titulature, and the transition from paper money to modern coinage in the late 20th century, and while its monetary value today is usually close to face value unless in exceptional condition, its historical significance lies in representing a specific moment in the evolution of British currency, royal iconography, and national identity during the late Cold War era under a monarch whose image appeared on more coins, stamps, and banknotes worldwide than any other individual in history. The next top. The inscription, Elizabeth II DGE Reg. FD, on a 1989 British £1 coin refers to the formal Latin titles of Queen Elizabeth II and appears on the obverse, front, of the coin, which in 1989 was designed by Raphael Maklauf and features a right-facing portrait of the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem. The Latin abbreviation expands to Elizabeth II. De Gratia Regina, Fidei Defensor, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, a traditional royal style used on British coinage for centuries, reflecting the constitutional monarchy and the monarch's historic role as supreme governor of the Church of England. The 1989 £1 coin belongs to the original round pound series introduced in 1983 and circulated until 2017, when it was replaced by the 12-sided bimetallic pound. It is made of nickel brass, an alloy of copper, zinc, and nickel, giving it a distinctive golden color, with a diameter of 22.5 millimeters, a thickness of about 3.15 millimeters, and a weight of 9.5 grams, and it features a milled, ridged edge for durability and easy identification. The reverse back design of the 1989 issue shows the thistle, the floral emblem of Scotland, crowned with the royal crown, as part of a 4-year heraldic cycle celebrating the nations of the United Kingdom, with other years featuring the leek for Wales, the flax plant for Northern Ireland, and the rose for England, symbolizing unity under the crown while honoring national identity. Around the reverse appears the inscription £1, with the date 1989, clearly indicating its denomination and year of issue. The coin was minted by the Royal Mint, primarily at Llantrisant in Wales, and had a relatively high mintage, over 120 million coins, meaning it is common in circulated condition and generally modest in monetary value today, although uncirculated examples, proof versions, or coins with minting errors may be of greater interest to collectors. Historically, the 1989 £1 coin represents a late Cold War-era Britain under long-reigning Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait on the coin reflects both continuity and stability, and the coin itself played a significant role in everyday British commerce for decades, becoming one of the most familiar symbols of modern UK currency before its eventual demonetization, making it an important piece for numismatists interested in British royal iconography, Latin coin legends, and late 20th century monetary history. The next top. The Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1991 pound inscription refers to a United Kingdom £1 coin issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, and each part of the legend and the coin's design reflects centuries of British monetary, political, and cultural tradition. The coin was struck in 1991, a period when the pound coin had already replaced the £1 banknote, withdrawn in the mid-1980s due to short lifespan, and it belongs to the round brass £1 coin series that circulated from 1983 until 2017, before being replaced by the 12-sided bimetallic pound for security reasons. The obverse front of the 1991 coin features the third definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Makloff, showing the Queen facing right and wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown traditionally used in coronations and ceremonial imagery, symbolizing continuity of monarchy, while the surrounding Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DGE Reg FD, translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, a title rooted in medieval Europe and formally granted to English monarchs in the 16th century, emphasizing the sovereign's constitutional and religious role rather than personal power. The reverse, back, of the 1991 £1 coin belongs to the famous Royal Arms design series, which ran from 1983 to 2015 and rotated different elements of the United Kingdom's coat of arms each year, with 1991 specifically featuring the arms of England. 3. Crowned lions passing guardant, an emblem dating back to the reign of Richard the Lionheart in the 12th century, representing courage, authority, and royal legitimacy. Beneath the shield appears the denomination £1, clearly marking its value, while the milled, ridged edge of the coin helped deter clipping and counterfeiting, a concern that historically plagued British coinage. Composition-wise, the £1,991 coin is made of nickel brass, approximately 70% copper, 24.5% zinc, and 5.5% nickel, giving it its distinctive golden color, with a weight of about 9.5 grams, a diameter of roughly 22.5 millimeters, and a thickness of about 3.15 millimeters, engineered to be durable for long circulation. Millions of these coins were minted by the Royal Mint, primarily for everyday use rather than rarity, meaning most examples today are common unless in uncirculated or proof condition, with proof versions typically struck for collectors and sold in official Royal Mint sets. Historically, the 1991 £1 coin reflects a transitional era in British society, post-Cold War, pre-digital payments, when cash still dominated daily transactions, and its design deliberately reinforced national identity by visually uniting England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland across the series. Numismatically, this coin is valued more for its historical symbolism and educational significance than for high monetary worth, unless preserved in exceptional condition, yet it remains an important artifact. Representing the late 20th century British monarchy, traditional heraldry, and the long evolution of the pound sterling as one of the world's oldest continuous currencies, making the 1991 Elizabeth II DG Reg FD £1 coin a compact but powerful piece of British history encapsulated in metal.